Hey everybody, it's Mags. This is Out of This Binary. Our topic is bathrooms. First of all, I just want to say that I'm super lucky. I work for a special needs department and therefore I have access to gender neutral bathrooms at my work. And pretty much every job I've had in like the last 5 years has had gender neutral bathrooms, so I haven't had to worry about it at work. If you do have to worry about it at work, you are absolutely allowed to tell your boss and HR and whoever else that you have to tell that using a gender-specific bathroom makes you uncomfortable, and if they are not willing to make a gender-neutral bathroom, then they are required to let you leave the premises when you have to use a bathroom. I did have one job. I only worked there for like 2 weeks, so I don't really count it. But they didn't have gender neutral bathrooms, and so whenever I had to go to the bathroom, I would cross the street to the Big Lots or whatever it was that did have a gender neutral bathroom. And your place of employment is required to let you do that if you let them know that gendered bathrooms make you uncomfortable. So just remember that. If it's not at work, chances are you're using a bathroom just while you're out shopping or eating or at school, if it's not at work, right? So, if they don't have gender-neutral bathrooms, then you're at this point where you can either use a men's or a women's restroom. Don't ever be afraid to use the restroom that you identify the most with. When I was going to college, I would always use the men's restroom because we didn't have neutral restrooms, and I was like trying to make a statement. However, since it's not a safe spot, it's not the one that I like. Just always remember that bathrooms are not safe places, and if you are taking a risk with what bathroom you're using, if you are using a gendered restroom, just bring a friend or bring protection. I would always do that. Like if I was using a men's restroom and I was afraid for my safety, then I would have a friend with me, or I would have my key locked in my fingers like we are taught to do, or I would have a knife in my pocket. I was just always looking out for my own physical safety first. There's a pretty cool app that I used to use. I'm not sure if it's still functioning, but I'll post the name below, and it would link you to you would open the app and it would show you every gender neutral bathroom that was closest to you. There's also a post on a website that is about how to go about addressing your school or a place of employment about needing gender neutral restrooms. So I'll try and try and find that post, and I'll put a link below. The cool thing about gender neutral bathrooms is they're becoming a lot more recognized as a necessity. Unfortunately, a good reason that they're becoming recognized is because of all the trans hate crimes that have happened in restrooms. So that's really unfortunate. But the fact that it's leaded to getting those bathrooms more recognized is really awesome. I know that a lot of college campuses are starting to open gender neutral bathrooms, or changing them from gendered restrooms to gender neutral. And you also have the opportunity of making a statement and getting together with your LGBTQ, QIA, etc. group, and going around and changing the signs yourself and protesting and standing up for what you need and for what you want to make you feel more comfortable and make you feel like your identity is valid. So don't ever forget that. You can organize that if it's not happening at your school yet. The unfortunate thing is that gender neutral bathrooms are way more common and happening a lot more in colleges than they are in high schools or middle schools or elementary schools. And I hear the same argument a lot, especially since I have a 3-year-old. People are always like, oh, well, if little girls are in the same bathroom as little boys, you never know what can happen. And that's bullshit. That's victim blaming. That's boys will be boys. That's the society that we're trying to change. And honestly, I don't really have any advice for people in high school because I haven't been in high school in such a long time. And I know that you can do the same thing in high school and middle school that you do in college, but you just have to be as careful. And it's harder to be careful on those campuses because you aren't allowed to have any form of self-defense like tool. So just stand up for yourself wherever you are, but don't be afraid to ask for an advisor or a counselor or a teacher. And it's ridiculous. Like, you can use faculty restrooms. They kind of, like, if you go to your school principal and you talk to them about your gender identity, or even if you don't talk to them about your gender identity and you just express that you need a neutral bathroom for reasons that are personal and that you don't feel comfortable discussing, they have to somehow make it work for you. They are required to keep you safe. So just remember that. I don't have much else to say on restrooms. There's also some cool, I'll try and find some posts and put them down below, put the links below, for signs. Like a while ago, there were stencils that were getting printed out for gender neutral bathrooms, and people were going around and altering the bathroom signs on their campuses, and that's really cool. So yeah, all I can say about bathrooms is you are allowed to use gender neutral bathrooms if it is a safety thing, and make sure that your school or your employer knows that. You discuss that with them and you arrange it. Also, be safe in bathrooms. Remember that trans hate crime happens the most in bathrooms. So, if that means bringing a packer or anything, whatever you need, then do it to be safe. Bring a friend, bring self-defense, bind yourself before you use a restroom, or, the alternative, whatever. Just always stay safe with it. So, this is Out of This Binary. I know that our topics for the next month are set. I think that next week is questioning, but I might be wrong. I'm sorry I've been so horrible with my videos. And have a good week, guys. Bye.